Got myself a cheeky. Can't see what that is though. No advertising. So, what are you reckoning about today then? What do you reckon?
Stoke. It's always a tough game. Always a tough game. You need to point the microphone this way.
Oh fuck!
Oh my god!
Sorry about that.
I told you that'd fall off.
It's the sticky thing. Bear with us.
Yeah, go on. Go on. I'll let you sort that out before we go.
There's no one watching yet, anyway. So.
Sure.
Video in pending queue.
What's that there? What are you doing?
What is that doing?
Are you recording or not?
I'm having a quick empty out before we
leave again.
Gal.
What?
What the fuck is this?
Encoder.
It's encoding.
What? There you go. Look, we're live.
We're live, right? Can everyone see us? Right? Is that all working? All working?
That's all working.
Right.
It's all working.
And we've got this stupid little black box in the middle, but of my face. But I don't think anyone else can see that. Right. All right. Gary's having another piss. So, as you were saying, right? Today's game.
Yeah, Stoke's tough. It's a tough game, Stoke. It's always a tough game, but all the injuries that I think we can't really see us that well, can you?
Well, our heads are cut off a bit.
All the injuries that I think that we've got and what I've heard we've got, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and we need the points really.
Yeah, we don't tend to do well down there, do we? Away at Stoke.
No.
It's a tough grind. I think they've been hit and miss form themselves, though, Stoke, haven't they? They've been a bit inconsistent.
Yeah, a little bit. We're very similar positions in the table. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Really, it's going to be tough. So
I'm really worried about these injuries. You know.
Where's the tape?
One sec. Here we go.
Oh my god.
1 second. If you can still hear us but not see us, we're taping this down. Double-sided sticky tape.
Right. Let's get this going.
Right.
This is a fucking clusterfuck.
Yeah. It's on your direction. How's the sound, everyone? Does that sound all right? Kiarte to get one. Well, he might be injured. That's the thing.
Should have fucking done this before.
By
Really.
a phone.
Right. Put it down. That's it.
Ah, yeah, I see what you're doing. Wait, hold up. It's on that phone. It's on that thing.
There we go.
Is that going to be all right? Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
We should
I hope so.
If not, we'll get another bit of tape. Right. There's a surprise in the team. What are your guesses as to who the surprise in the team could be?
Well, my brother reckons it might be Nathan Holland.
That'd be a big surprise.
Yeah, that would be a big surprise.
Considering we haven't played much of the academy players this season.
Yeah, he reckons it might be Nathan Holland, but with all the injuries we've got, it might be the only thing we can do. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what the surprise is. You know, who knows?
Yeah, Reed, that was it. Reed, Masuaku, Kiarte, even Sacco. Bloody hell. I mean, it's starting to really get on my nerves now. I don't know what the issue is with these injuries. You know, like, we seem to keep picking them up, you know, and these are obviously in training. So, I mean, what do you think about this?
It's something that's been happening over West Ham for years and years and years.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not anything new.
But we've changed the training ground now, so...
Yeah, I really don't know. Maybe it's got to be something to do with the training we're doing, or you know, the fitness.
But this is
coaches or whatever.
Yeah. Well, with the training, right? I remember like there was the thing last season, wasn't there, where apparently he was getting injuries because Billick was training him too hard. Now there's been a lot of talk about the training being too easy, and now we're still getting these persistent injuries through training. So I don't know whether it's the fitness coaches or the physios.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. But you know, the end of the season is coming. You know, I don't know whether they're going to look at that in the summer or whatever. I don't know, but they've got to do something, because the amount of long-term injuries we get, the amount of the players that go missing, for long periods of time. It's difficult. It's a difficult one.
I mean, I was having this chat with my cousin the other day. We was talking about the training facilities and how poor. Like, you look at the training facilities, they look like it's like a League One training area, with the little cabins and all of that stuff. Why don't we have a proper Premier League standard training facilities?
Well, I've heard that the training facilities are very good. It's not really to do with the cabins or anything like that, but the pitches and things like that. And apparently they're pretty good. But I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's really difficult. But
I mean, I know we've still got Fords. I don't know what we're doing with that.
We're using it. That's what we're using now. Rush green. We're not using
Rush
Cheddar
green.
leaf.
Yeah. Rush green is the Fords thing. I thought it was bigger than that, though. I thought it was a much bigger space, because there was talk about fucking building a stadium there at one point, or selling it to Dagenham and Redbridge or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but we're using Rush green. They made that decision to bring it from Cheddar leaf.
I mean, going back to
last week, first time defensively we've looked pretty solid against a pretty good Everton team as well. Stoke will pose a few threats today. They've got a couple of good players, big, strong, fast guy up front. I forget his name now.
Anautovic.
No, he's a winger, isn't he? Berahino, yeah, of course. And the other guy who scored against Juve, yeah. And they'll pose a few threats today, but we were solid last week, but we need to look up to get forward. You know what I mean? Read some of these comments, Dan.
Yeah. So someone wants to know, where's Ryan?
Where's Ryan? He's not here today. I think he's going to the boxing tonight.
Right. Yeah. So Ted Forbes is saying, you said it all along. His pace and dribbling, we need it. Imagine missing Masuaku left, Antonio right, a new striker up top, and Lanzini just behind for next season. What do you think about that? I want to know.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I would like to talk a little bit about Antonio, actually, about his contract. We'll talk about what's going on.
Yeah, that's a big subject at the moment. What do you think about that? Where do you stand?
It's all rumours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all rumours. Apparently, it's got some legs to it. There's some people saying he doesn't like, he's broken down relationships with West Ham. Whether you can take that as he just, he's getting a bit dishevelled around the club, or he's broken down with Bilic. I'm not sure, but it seems like he's got a bit frustrated. Apparently, we offered him the £70,000 that he wanted, and he's turned it down. So maybe he looks like he wants to go. The club have said they'll sell him at no cost, but they also said that about Payet. So, we all know that if the right money comes along, they will sell him. But it's not good at West Ham at the minute. You know what I mean? It's one of them situations where it just seems everything's falling apart at the seams. Obviously, you've got the tax stuff that we don't know nothing about, so we're not going to comment on really. But the Antonio thing is a bit worrying, because he's our best player. But I can see why these players get dishevelled. I don't think anyone should earn £70,000 a week anyway.
Yeah.
But like, when you've got the likes of Snodgrass and Font on, big money, especially with Snodgrass, like, if you have to pay a guy like Snodgrass big money to leave Hull, then you've got a problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have to pay him that amount of wages. He's a 40,000 pound a week a week player maximum. If he wants to leave Hull, then he would leave Hull. You know what I mean? Like, for a club like West Ham. But obviously they thought they had to go in with this big money. I don't understand it. I don't understand.
I mean, what do you reckon he was on at Hull? Snodgrass.
I've no idea.
I mean,
30
maybe
grand?
50?
No, I reckon he was on 30 grand.
30 grand, Gary reckons. Yeah, so we've gone and slapped on an extra 30 grand or whatever, right, for 25 grand or something, just to get him there.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And he's done nothing, absolutely nothing. So, I don't know. It's a tough situation. Antonio, on merit, should be one of our highest paid players. He's been our best player for the last season and a half, most definitely. He's pretty much, I know he's got a little injury now, but he's pretty much been there week in, week out. when you look at the injuries we do have around, you know, with people like Andy Carroll, who's rumoured to be on like £80,000-200,000 a week, and he's injured every other week. He's injured again today.
Yeah.
You know, someone like Antonio, he should be on the big money, but that's not down to us to negotiate with him. You know, I don't know. It reeks of. It just seems like it's falling apart at the seams at West Ham. You know what I mean? It's one of them things where
it's been a completely just chaotic season, isn't it?
Terrible season. Like, no matter how you look at it, I know we've had bad seasons before. It doesn't affect my support for the club. You know what I mean? But you know, it's one of them things where it's just got worse. Like, it's one of the worst I remember. We've probably had one good month this season.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's not just about the results on the pitch, is it? It's all the off the pitch stuff that's added on top of that to make it a shit season, basically.
Yeah, I mean, watch your language, please, because it's in the daytime. Yeah, it's not been a very good season. There's a load of stuff. Like, you come in from last season, we was having we had a really good season last year. Coming into this season, you've got our best players wanting to leave. You've got the results not going well. You've got the stadium issues. You've got obviously the tax issue now. You've got the injuries on top of that. The fact that the owners haven't done very well in the transfer window. We'll talk about the owners in a second. The owners haven't done very well in the transfer. It looks like they don't want to invest any money in the side to make it better. We've recessed a little bit, really, from last year in terms of the team. It hasn't been very good at all, to be quite honest with you. And like, it's a season to remember, that's for sure.
Yeah. And so going back to the comments, Adam Nichols wants to know about Nordveit, right? Did he do enough last week to keep a place in the team for today?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was good last week.
He played a man in his right position. That's not given a chance, isn't it? At the moment, he's played at right back and everything, isn't he? So, playing him in his right position, I thought he'd done all right. Playing centre mid, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you look at Chiati and Antonio; they've both been shocking at right back. So, I'd really.
But what? This is the reason. Like, we bang on about this every day. Why didn't we go and get a right back? Why didn't we go and get the centre forward we needed? Maybe they think there's enough in the youth, but then, use the youth. You know what I mean? We haven't used it enough. But this season, this was a big season. This is a season where we could have, we could have really pushed on from last year. A little bit of investment, a little bit of smart usage and whatever, you know what I mean? But we didn't, and it's quite evident. Going back to the game today,
exactly the prediction I've gone with, a 1-1. What about you, Gary?
I'm going 2-1 West Ham.
2-1 West Ham, much more confident there. Who have we gone win today? Yeah, so obviously we've gone for a draw. Let's see.
This guy keeps on talking about the owners. I mean, what?
Can you ask him his views on the owners? Right, okay, let's talk about that.
I've spoke about the owners. I said a little while back I'm not going to speak about them anymore. I've spoke about the owners. If you want to know my views on the owners, you look back on any video in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you'll see my views about the owners. You'll see my views about, the investment they've put in and things like that. It's not very good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for me, this summer it's their last chance.
I think so. Yeah, it's absolutely their last chance. They've got to sort of rectify the mistakes. If they don't, I don't see us going down next year. We don't improve the squad or whatever. But let's talk about. I'll tell you what. We'll talk about the tax. Let's have a little talk about the tax.
That was obviously a massive story. Sent West Ham Twitter into meltdown the other day.
Yeah, I mean, first things first. You got to remember this. It's there's nothing come out yet. Like, to speculate about anything is, I think it's moronic, really, if you want to speculate about these things, because nobody knows anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting little bits of information. It's not a West Ham thing. It was Newcastle as well, but it's a football thing. It's not a fact that and with the amount of money that changes hands, people do have to be raided and things like that. You know what I mean? If people are dodging taxes, is it West Ham dodging taxes? If they are dodging taxes, they're absolutely ridiculous, because there's so much money involved in the game to sort of like risk all that for a poxy £5 million or whatever it was. They just wouldn't do it. It's more likely to be agents and you know, things like that, where people get paid in football, taxes are not paid properly. Maybe it's a situation where the agent didn't pay the tax, or the club didn't pay the tax for the agent, or whatever.
It seems to be Marseille is the common denominator.
Yeah, it seems to be like the French clubs that are involved, and Marseille in particular. Obviously, we've had a couple of dealings with Marseille over the last few years, but you know, it's one of them things. Nobody knows a thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, if I wanted to put the smart money on it, if I was a betting man, I'd turn around and say that we're assisting with inquiries rather than being investigated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I understand the knee-jerk reaction, like when you see that with everything else that's going on, to go, bloody hell, like, you know, it's another thing. But you know, if you take a while to think and just, you know, I mean, the whole thing about we were raided, that was a word that was thrown about. But, you know, a lot of it I'm hearing now is that they turned up and asked for assistance. Can you help us with this transfer? Probably the Payet transfer, right? Can you give us all your papers on the Payet transfer? And West Ham went, there you go.
That's what I would say it was. Is there a drink back there, girl? Please. That's what I would say it was. I would say more or less it was, you know, just the information that we've got. You know, it's probably transfers involving us, but I wouldn't imagine it was the club. I wouldn't imagine it was the club, to be honest.
No, me neither. So I'm just posting it live on Twitter and that. So let's make sure it goes out. So we're just sharing it. How many we got? We've got 150 so far. So, but yeah, as soon as something comes up concrete and we know for solid, then we'll speak on it.
We'll talk about it 100%. Like, but until that does come up, I don't really want to speculate. You know what I mean? Like, I think it can be, you know, for a channel of our size and whatever, you know, it can be a little bit scaremongering if we start talking about, we're going to get transfer embargoes, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. No. You know, until that starts to come through, and like, I've heard nothing about that. You know what I mean? Like, so to speculate about that is a bit unfair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, whatever you say about the owners in terms of where their best interests are and their self-interest, I don't think they're that stupid.
Well, even if their interest is their own money. Yeah. Why are they going to, you know, risk all of that? You know, they've got money invested in the end of the day to. You know, to risk that, it's going to be stupid. It would be ridiculous to risk that. Do you know what I mean? So, until I get a little bit more concrete, I'm not going to really speculate on them sort of things. But what else is there to talk about today? Starting lineup. Adrian, he obviously stays in goal for me.
Although I mean, to me, it's only not for a case of, I suppose, on the back of that game, but just to give him just to see if he's tested and see how he does.
His first touch the other day, though.
it was a bit.
Yeah, but that's what he's capable of, isn't it? At the end of the day,
we need a new goalkeeper.
I thought, we do need a new goalkeeper. I'm sure we'll address that in the summer, but I feel more comfortable with Adrian in goal now. You know what I mean? And 6 months ago, I was saying the opposite. Yeah. You know what I mean? So. It's a difficult one because I don't feel we've got a good goalkeeper at the moment. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, who do you reckon our last good goalkeeper was?
Green.
Yeah.
Escalainen was decent.
Yeah, I like Escalainen.
But by the time he got to us, he was so old he couldn't barely move. Anything in the corners, he was just not going for. But Green, I mean, top class. It was Green for me. Green.
Green. I liked Green until he got greedy.
Capable of a mess up.
England's number one.
So when there was those rumours of us, like I think it was like last season, I think it was, of us going back in for Green and signing him again. What would you think of that? Was you thinking?
No, Green was, when he was with us, he was in his prime. By the time he was going to come back, I mean, I think he plays for Leeds or someone now, doesn't he?
Is it Leeds? I mean, well,
he was playing for Leeds. I'm sure he was playing for Leeds, but you know, he's old by then. You know what I mean? And like at the time, Adrian looked a good fit.
So, well, there's a comment there. We need Pickford. What do you make on him?
Pickford,
He's young, isn't he? He's a young goalkeeper.
He is young. He's done very well for
Sunderland, yeah.
for Sunderland. You can't deny that. But Pickford, one for the future, definitely. He's playing first team for Sunderland, so he's gaining experience. But if I was West Ham, if you're going to make a statement, look at art. Look at even. Do you know another good quality? I said this in my Monday Musings the other day. Another good quality goalkeeper is Begovic, and he's doing nothing at Chelsea. You know what I mean? I feel he's gettable. You know what I mean? So
I like Tom Eaton.
Tom Eaton, yeah. Who's he play for? Butland. He plays for Stoke, doesn't he?
Yes, he plays for Stoke, yeah.
He's a good goalkeeper, but I've heard a lot of rumours about he may be finished, but who knows? He's always injured anyway. That's someone that we don't want. So.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing when it's our goalkeepers getting injury. That's the one place we're alright for injuries.
Yeah.
We're going 3 at the back today or what?
Three at the back today? Yeah. That's what I said. I want to see it. I think it's the same formation last week, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be the same team if there ain't no injuries.
Someone that impressed me last week, Fernandes. I thought he was magnificent last week, and I'm just wondering how long you fellas think before he becomes a regular starter for us, and where does he play?
I mean, I think next season is well, he's already been told he'll be heavily featured next season. We know he can play right wing back, but obviously I don't think we can play a 3 at the back going forward. So, is he going to?
Best position centre mid.
Yeah, I think he's good. I think he's lively. I think he's energetic. I think next season, like with Fernandes, with the arrival of Fernandes, with Obiang coming back, who's been very good this year. Like, it's a shame he got such a bad injury at the end of the season. We look decent in the centre midfield. Lanzini can play there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Probably we might need another one to shore it up. Nordveit coming in last week and doing a very good job at the holding role. Looks very good in that position. Where we're lacking at the minute, yeah, we look very good defensively last week as well. You got a couple of aging centre backs there, but we've got a couple of youngsters coming through. We look very light up front.
Yeah.
Very light up front. Snodgrass doing nothing. Antonio, of course, he's brilliant, but Faguli done nothing really. But he can be used as an impact player. But is he going to want to stay and do that? I don't know. Striker wise, honestly, I've never seen such a lack of options up front. Like Caleri's done nothing. He's going to go back next year. And the other two that are actually decent, Sacco and Carroll, they spend the season out injured, and how we got to January and turned around and said we're all right up front. I'll never know. It's crazy for me.
I really believe that with January and all that, they were thinking, let's just get through to the end of the season, save all our money for the summer. I think that's what they're thinking.
Are they saving all their money for the summer, or are they just saving all their money full stop?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
Do you know what I mean? I honestly believe that the club will be sold in the next 2 or 3 years.
I hope so.
Yeah, I honestly do. I honestly think it is, and I think that when it comes to investment now, I don't think they want to invest their money.
Maximise their
Someone
profit.
just said there, what about Sturridge? Look, read the comments.
Yeah,
Dan.
Sturridge, right. Yeah, what do you reckon on that now? It's funny just talking about injury-prone strikers.
Why would you 25 million, right, or 20 million, or whatever they want to take for him? Why would you want to spend that on another guy that spends half the season on the sidelines? You've got to get your money's worth. You've got to pay him. It's not like he's not paying on pay as you play. You know what I mean? If he's going to come here, he's going to want a decent contract as well. He's going to want £100,000 a week plus. Yeah. Can you justify that on especially with the injury record we've got?
Yeah, we're worse with injuries than Liverpool. So I'm pretty sure that he'd be injured more with us than he would.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Why would you want to spend all that money? Yeah.
But contracts don't.
Last season, I think was the season to get Giroud. I reckon.
No, listen.
In terms of availability,
let's put it this way: they're going to get another striker, and he's going to be on the bench. I reckon we should go in for him. I think it'd be good for us.
Well, there's Mohamed Ali is saying, what about Defoe? Now, to me, I think that's nailed on that we're getting Defoe. I think that's pretty certain.
I think he'll come. But Defoe for me, I really wanted Defoe. Defoe would have got us the goals this year. to really get us out of this scrape, to be quite honest with you, the scrape that we found ourselves in. And, you know, Defoe in the summer, should we be looking at him or should we be looking a little bit? I've seen the transfer targets that we're after. Defoe's mentioned, obviously, because he was linked with us.
Free if they go down.
Yeah,
which is
free transfer, which is a good deal. You got Sanya, Zabaleta, a guy from Besiktas who's about 35. I think I'm younger than him. You know what I mean? No, the midfielder Hutchinson. You know, all these old John Terry, all these old, like, for me, past it players that were top class at one point. But
that's what West Ham does, don't
yeah,
we?
But the thing is, Dan, the thing is, we done that at the Boleyn.
Yeah.
If that's the type of level of transfer, like the level of transfer target we're going for, and the amount of money we want to spend, we might as well stay at the Boleyn. There's no point in moving to this new 60, 70, 80,000 seat stay, whatever they want to make it one day. You know what I mean? Which is another load of nonsense, to be honest. Like, we might as well just stay there because we're going nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could have done that at the Boleyn. Like, is the 60,000 seat? What are you going to say? Oh, John Terry wouldn't come to West Ham because we were playing at the Boleyn. Of course he would have. You know what I mean? Like, is it the end of his career? What's he doing? I mean, that is nonsense. Like, that's nonsense. This 60,000 seat stadium, they wanted it to take us to the next level. You're not going to get to the next level signing John Terry. John Terry can't even cape for Chelsea. Like, and that's no disrespect. I know John Terry's a very good player, and I know Chelsea's a very good team. But he's not playing for Chelsea. He's not playing for Chelsea for a reason. If he was any good anymore, he'd be playing for Chelsea week in, week out.
He might be a good in a sort of a player coaching
I'd rather
role.
keep Collins.
Collins, but
Collins. Collins would be a good player coach role as well. And like, it's nonsense. Like, you know, we got rid of Tompkins to sign Font, who's 5 years, 6 years older. Yeah, what's the point?
Right, another one that's mentioned there, which is very interesting. Danny Ings, who I rate, but has had, I wouldn't say, yeah, he hasn't had
consistently.
Yeah,
24, 25.
Not consistently.
He hasn't
injured.
had a lot of injuries, but he's had long-term injuries.
To sign Danny Ings, I would say, I would want to see him play a full season, without an injury or with very little injury. Like, you've really got to be careful when it comes to these bad injuries as well. Danny Ings has had a couple of really bad injuries.
Yeah.
Like, in the last 2 years, he's gone to Liverpool, ain't worked out. Seems like that's our fucking, excuse my language. Seems like that's our bargain home, Liverpool.
Yeah.
We go there, we wait for them to sign them for big money, make like it doesn't work out for them, and we go there and nick them on the cheap. It's like our, they're like our factory outlet sort of thing. But nah, for me, I'd want to see him play a full season before we go and start spending money on people like that.
Someone agrees with you, Gary. Joshua has said about King.
Oh, Joshua King.
Joshua King, yeah.
Yeah, we should go after
The
Joshua
person who
King.
said it.
He's a good little player.
Gary said earlier, my brother said earlier, that
That.
Joshua King would be an ideal signing. I got to admit, when we went to Bournemouth, he was very good
He's
on the
had
day.
one good season. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
He's had one good season, and that's it.
And I was also saying, Michu, a couple of years ago, top clubs in the country would have signed him. He plays in the Spanish 4th division now, because he was one season wonder. So yeah.
Wilshere, eh? Del Boy says.
He's another injury prone.
No, I don't want anyone that's injured. I want someone that can play an actual.
Iniacho.
Yeah,
Yes,
Kelechi Iheanacho,
yes,
I like
Kelechi
him.
Iheanacho is a good player. I'll take him all day long.
Yeah, all day long.
But what are they going to want for him? 40 million?
No, they ain't going to get rid of him.
At 21? Yeah, and they won't get rid of him.
On
you know
loan,
what I mean?
we can get him on loan the most.
On loan, I
Yeah,
reckon.
you can talk about people like Martial, who's 19 years old, going to sort of like 30 million,
50
rising
million,
to 60 million, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like James Rodriguez out of our league.
Yeah.
Maybe last year.
Well out.
Maybe last year.
Batshuayi obviously is rumoured to as on a possibly a loan or even a signing actually, in terms of he's barely featured for Chelsea.
Who?
Batshuayi.
He didn't fuck off, but he didn't want to sign for us in the first place. We don't want him.
Please watch your language. Yeah. It'd be a decent sign, but as he just said,
If you didn't want
didn't want to sign for us last year.
Why don't we want him, mate?
Had 0 minutes this year. Sod him. You know what I mean? So
What about who do you reckon we should get for a right back?
to right back,
Yeah, a right back, and there's not a lot of them out there.
Zabaleta is the big rumour.
He's 33. What good young right backs out there that West Ham can get?
Who is there? Think?
I don't know.
That's what I mean. No one knows. Listen, there ain't a lot of them out there, mate.
Yeah, that's the thing with the right backs. I mean, I think with a right back, like full-backs are really good, you know, for European, like looking in Europe at like people like pacey, strong full-backs like throughout Europe. So I think we should be looking at like maybe the French leagues or something like that for a right back. I said Masuaki's has turned out to be a good left back, so
he's had a couple of good games. He ain't done too bad.
We're still here. The phone just rang. Sagna.
Old.
He's
past it.
Good young right back.
Trippier.
One.
Bellerin. That's now. So that realistic.
That's never happened.
Jenkinson. I think Jenkinson's.
The boat's sailed on him. I think.
It has. I mean, like he had the chance to sign. Who was going to sign? Palace. Palace were going to sign him, but he wanted too much money, wages wise, and he can't really justify that, can he? Really, like 70 grand or something he wants. And to get someone who's had a few injury problems lately, but also hasn't performed well for Arsenal. You know, he had that first season for us. He was brilliant.
Well, let's get back to the game today.
Yeah, right.
Because we're talking too much about the future.
Right.
I mean, what starting lineup? We've gone a bit through that. I think Font, Collins, Reed is meant to be out again.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a rumours of a few knocks today. I think Reed was one of them, and hopefully he's playing. We'll see the starting lineup in the next hour or so.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
the next hour. So we'll see that. Masuaku plays for me over Cresswell.
If you're long term, you reckon Masuaku has now become our first choice left back?
Yeah, for me, Cresswell's been awful this year.
Not the same player as he was.
No, he's not the same player. And that, I'll tell you, it's bemusing to me. The injury's done him. The injury's done Cresswell.
The thing is, though, when that first game at Palace, when he came back, right, he was brilliant at Palace. He really was.
Yeah. And I mean, it's look. You've been a bit harsh on him to just say he's finished and all that, like. But Masuaku at the moment on form gets him for me, because Cresswell. I mean,
that might be what he needs.
3 years for us, mate. He was absolutely outstanding,
and with no competition. Either.
I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters. He was just outstanding. You know, you talked about last year. They was talking about him going to City for 35 million or whatever it was, but he's just not been the same player. But I think it's get back in that gym, work hard, get back to full fitness, get back to doing what you was doing a couple of years ago. You know, the same stuff that got him in the England side. Does Byron play right back today?
Yeah, well,
does he go?
What's your reckon?
No, I don't think he does. I think he's going to have to. I think he should stick with the same team he stuck against Everton. As I said, if we ain't got no injuries.
Well,
if we have got injuries, then he ain't got no choice to come in.
Yeah, and it's an option, like, to have him on the bench, to be able to say, if Slav needs to change it up and go, right, we'll bring him on and go 4 at the back, then we can switch up the tactics. So I reckon start off with that 3 at the back, and we just go for it. We just go for the 3 points. Well, what are we on? 38 points now.
Yeah.
So
hopefully Czech plays in the middle. That's I don't think he had a quite quiet game last week. Actually, Czech. I think he was great, but he's another one rumoured to have a bit of a knock this week. But hopefully he plays in the middle, maybe alongside Nordveit.
Yeah, so you wouldn't bring no straight back in.
No, I don't think I would. But mind you, you do want his passion in there, like, and there ain't a lot of options at the moment. But Nordveit for me should keep his place. I think the defensive side of things, West Ham done very well last week, and he was a part of that. He's a big part of that as well. So, you know, and I think he starts.
This was something I was sort of talking about on the FIFA show, right? Who would you see, right? Obviously Noble's not playing. Who would you want to have that captain's armband? I mean, like Carroll's wore it a bit this season. You reckon Winston Reid?
I don't think he leads enough.
Who?
If Reid?
No, Winston Reid all day long, mate.
No, I don't think so.
For me, I was saying Collins.
Collins. Well, he's nearly done though, isn't he?
Collins is nearly done.
I'm talking about like just like say if Noble's not playing today, like not sort of long term.
Collins is passion. Collins should be our captain.
Yeah.
I know. Look, Reid is influential, but Reid is a very quiet character. He's also somebody that's been captain before, and he seemed to struggle a little bit with it, like because he struggles. Like Reid's got a mistake in him. Like he's top class, but he's got a mistake in him. It seems to me like he has to concentrate on his own game. If he's a captain and you've got to worry about other people, it seems to me it affects him a little bit. Yeah, it chucks him off his game. But like I used to play football. I used to be a captain for one of my football teams at one point, and it does. You know, you're looking so much at other people's games that you ain't concentrating on your own.
Trying to organise him to get there.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, balls are coming through, and you're like,
yeah.
oh, fuck
I didn't do very well, like as a captain. Like I only captained the team about 3 or 4 times.
Someone said Kiarte captain.
Well,
he's
possible.
A lad character,
Yeah, possible. Yeah, possible. Yeah. But for me, if it was today, Collins takes it. Yeah. Collins is a leader.
He's showed so much passion.
And he leads by example as well. Yeah, he leads by example. Like last few weeks, the thing about Ginger Pele is, again, you know, his legs are going. He's getting on a little bit. I still keep him around the club for another 2 or 3 seasons. I think he's a great character. He doesn't seem to worry. He loves West Ham. You can tell it by his celebrations, like when he scored the week before last. Like he absolutely loves West Ham. He's the last one on the pitch. He knows his time's probably going to come to an end at the top flight. But he chucks himself in front of it. He leads by example, like, and as I said, I know he's got a mistake in him. You know what I mean? But
I've never seen him not put everything into it, even if he has a poor game.
Puts his heart and soul into every game. And how can you ever have a go at a man like that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we get annoyed when he makes mistakes, but you know, when you're putting your heart and soul into it and it means so much to you. You know, what can you say? He's an absolute. Honestly, I think he'll go down in West Ham legend, Ginger Pele.
Yeah, cult hero.
Yeah, no, not even cult. Not even cult. He's not there on because you know, a cult hero for me is someone like Christian Daly, who's so bad he just ended up being, you know, Thomas Repka. Again, he ended up playing well for us, but he was so bad that he ended up being good. Lewis Bowen-Morte, a little bit of a cult hero. So bad that people just get behind him. Yeah. Ginger Pele's not a cult hero. Ginger Pele will go down in West Ham folklore, I think, as being, you know, a real throwback to an old, you know, that sort of like fucking. You can't really make any comparisons to Billy Bonds. Billy Bonds was something else, but he's the closest we've had in modern times to someone that really puts his blood, sweat, and tears into every game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hopefully, I'd like to see him move to the back room. You know, back room in the coaching.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, he's a brilliant defender as well. I think he's one of the most underrated defenders I think I've ever seen in the Premier League. Because, I mean, I was devastated when he went to Villa, Collins, and for such paltry money as well. Like, for me, the first time he was with us, he was a fabulous centre half. Like, fabulous centre half. And when we let him go to Villa for $5 million, I thought that was the biggest. We should have let Upson go. He was 10 times the player Upson was, and 10 times more committed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he should never have left. I think he's been one of the most underrated centre backs in the Premier League.
So just one last thing on Collins. We sort of had a bit of chat about this the other day, but like the testimonial thing. Do you think he should get a testimonial?
By law, no. Because you've got to be at a club for 10 years.
Is that fixed? Is that like you?
I'm not sure, but I think that's the dumb thing.
It's the dumb thing.
Right, and although he's been with us he signed with us after the first time we got promoted, but he spent, I think, 4 years away. So it's a broken time, really. He's been with us since 2012 now. I think it is 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
You know, that's only 5 years service, but
can you count it? Like, if he does move to the back room. Can you count that service?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, because Tony Carr's had a testimonial.
Yeah, so true. So if he does, I mean, it's not impossible for him to do that.
What is this, an interview? I don't know how testimonials work, Dan. You know?
No,
I don't know.
I'm just saying, right?
No, let's move on.
All right. Anyway, let's have a look at the comments. Read our comments, not your own question. All right. Well, we've got to answer the question, haven't we? So, all right, we should get Zaha. Bloody hell. I think we should go for Jordan Pickford. So a lot of that on the sort of signings. All right, we've still got a bit of stock there. Pickford won't go West Ham. AJ, keep
So for the person, can I just say, for the person that just said read your comments, there is a show for that. So go on Twitter, you can get your comments read and
on the
answer them.
social. So what we got? In my opinion, Mings for
Tyler Mings.
Yeah, for 9 million. Challenge Masuaku. Oh, they're all flying in now. Zaha's going Spurs. Oh, you're talking about Zaha. So a lot about the signings and that. Do you think we should get Sturridge? We mentioned that a bit earlier. A bit too injury prone. Who's going to win the league out of Chelsea and Spurs? No, it's Chelsea, isn't it?
Chelsea got our game against fucking. Who they got?
Alright, here we go.
Everton.
Someone said, would you like to get Sacco? Now I think that's something like that Mamadou Sacco, isn't it?
He's
Mamadou?
injured, eh? He's outrageous now.
20 million.
Yeah, so that was a really bad.
I think actually it's 30 million.
What, to sign him?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a player. I'm really surprised that. I mean, it's someone I wanted us to go in for even in the summer. I'm surprised we didn't go for him in January instead of Font, because he is
On loan, I thought they'd be all over it, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's someone who, you could see they've really missed him at Liverpool this season. But because of the whole, it's one of them things, isn't it? If you fall out with the manager, then
Well, let's get because we're going to start wrapping this up.
what we might do, should we go off for a bit and then maybe pop back on after we've seen the lineup, do a little
Yeah,
reaction
when we
to the
get to
lineup.
Stoke, we'll start talking about the team news and things, and we'll do a quick reaction to the team, because apparently there's meant to be that little surprise.
Yeah.
So
I don't know where I'll see it. Something.
So
West Ham employee said it, I think.
Was it?
Yeah. I think so.
yeah, so we'll when like to read them out because we're talking about them, but I am reading them, so we appreciate it. And let's have.
Would you like to see this become a regular feature? Is this something that you'd be interested in watching?
Yeah.
Week in, week out when we go away. We go away in the car quite a lot. We can do these sort of things. I don't know what the connection's been like, but
Yeah.
no one seems to be complaining about it. But would it like to be saying you see like next season?
Yeah, let us know.
Along with the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. If you haven't said that, Breakfast Club, we're trying to introduce more live stuff, aren't we?
Yeah.
And have that. So someone said, yes. So
Yes.
really, yeah,
Yes,
it's
Pucker.
pucks. Yeah. Yeah. So cheers for that. So glad you enjoyed it. Still can comment, share it, whatever, and we'll be back after we get the team news.
Yeah.
Come on, you Irons.